Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey where each step we take defines who we are and what we achieve. But let me tell you something profound. No one can truly help you unless you decide to help yourself. Yes, people may inspire you, some may even guide you or lend a helping hand. But at the end of the day, the power to change, to grow, and to succeed lies within you. Success is not gifted, it's earned. It's not waiting for someone else to fix your problems or pave your way. It's about taking responsibility for your life. Stop looking outward for solutions, start looking inward for strength. Think of the eagle. When the storm comes, it doesn't seek shelter, it rises above the storm. That's what you must do. Face your challenges head on. Embrace the pain, the struggles, and the obstacles because they are the stepping stones to greatness. Don't wait for someone to motivate you, motivate yourself. Don't wait for someone to believe in you, believe in yourself. And don't wait for someone to rescue you, be your own hero. The world owes you nothing, but you owe yourself everything. So stand up, take charge, and do it yourself. Because no one can help you the way you can help yourself. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, triumphs and tribulations. Along the way, it's easy to fall into the trap of blaming others for the situations we find ourselves in. We point fingers at our circumstances, our upbringing, or even fate. Yet the harsh reality remains no one else is responsible for where you are or where you're headed. The moment you realize that the power to shape your life lies solely in your hands is the moment everything begins to change. Taking ownership of your life starts with a mindset shift. It requires a deep understanding that you are the author of your own story. No one else can write it for you. While it's true that life throws challenges your way, your reaction to those challenges is what determines your future. You can either let the storm drown you or learn to navigate through it, steering your ship toward calmer waters. When you take ownership of your life, excuses become irrelevant. Excuses are comforting. They allow you to shift the blame and absolve yourself of responsibility. But excuses also trap you in mediocrity. They are the chains that keep you tied to a version of yourself that you've outgrown. Owning your life means breaking free from those chains. It means saying, yes, this is hard, but I will find a way through. It means acknowledging your failures without shame and using them as stepping stones to success. Taking ownership is not about controlling everything that happens to you. Life is unpredictable, and many things will remain outside your control. However, what you can control is how you respond to those situations. Imagine you're handed a deck of cards. You didn't choose the cards, but you can decide how to play them. That decision, your strategy, your attitude, your determination is where your power lies. This concept extends to every area of life. In your career, taking ownership means refusing to settle for less than you're capable of. It means showing up every day, ready to give your best effort, even when no one is watching. It means refusing to rely on others to build your dreams. Support is valuable, but your vision is your responsibility. In relationships, ownership is about recognizing your role in the dynamics that play out. It's easy to point fingers and say they don't understand me or they're the problem, but meaningful connections require self-awareness and accountability. Ask yourself, what am I contributing to this relationship? Am I communicating effectively? Am I showing up as the person I want to be? Owning your part is the first step towards stronger, healthier bonds. Your personal growth is another area where ownership is vital. Too often, people wait for inspiration to strike or for someone else to motivate them. They wait for the perfect mentor, the perfect timing, or the perfect set of circumstances. But growth doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. It comes from taking the initiative to learn, to try, and to fail. Owning your growth means investing in yourself, reading that book, taking that course, practicing that skill without waiting for anyone to push you. One of the most challenging aspects of taking ownership is confronting your own limitations. It's uncomfortable to admit when you've fallen short or made mistakes. But this honesty is essential for growth. Denying your flaws only keeps you stuck. When you take responsibility for your shortcomings, you gain the power to change them. You stop being a passive participant in your own life and become an active creator of your future. Ownership also requires letting go of the need for validation. When you take full responsibility for your life, you no longer depend on others to approve of your choices. You understand that not everyone will support your journey, and that's okay. Your path is yours to walk, and the opinions of others hold no power over you unless you allow them to. Another aspect of ownership is persistence. Taking charge of your life doesn't mean every day will be easy or every effort will yield immediate results. There will be setbacks and there will be moments when you feel like giving up. But true ownership means staying committed to your goals, even when the road gets tough. It means finding the strength within yourself to keep going, one step at a time, because you know the destination is worth it. Ultimately, taking ownership is a decision you must make every single day. It's not a one-time choice, it's a practice. It's the way you approach each moment, each challenge, and each opportunity. It's the mindset that says, I am in control of my actions, my attitude, and my destiny. And it's the unwavering belief that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to rise above it. Believing in your own potential is the foundation for every great achievement in life. It is the quiet but powerful confidence that whispers, you are capable. Yet this belief often feels elusive. Doubts creep in, fueled by failures, criticism, or comparisons. Still, the truth remains within you lies the ability to accomplish more than you've ever imagined. The challenge is not whether you have potential, the challenge is whether you believe in enough to unlock it. Every person is born with unique gifts, talents, and the capacity for growth. These gifts may not always be obvious, and they may take time and effort to discover, but they are there. Think of potential like a seed. A seed holds the blueprint for a towering tree, but it won't grow unless it is planted, nurtured, and given the chance to thrive. Your potential works the same way. It's already within you, waiting for you to acknowledge it and take the steps to let it flourish. One of the biggest obstacles to believing in your potential is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. These fears can be paralyzing, keeping you stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. But fear is a thief. It steals opportunities and convinces you to settle for less. To believe in your potential, you must confront your fears head-on. Understand that failure is not a reflection of your worth, but a necessary part of growth. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone that brings you closer to success. Comparison is another barrier to recognizing your potential. In a world where achievements are broadcasted and celebrated publicly, it's easy to feel like you're not measuring up. But comparing yourself to others is like comparing a sunflower to an oak tree. They are different, and both have value. Your journey is unique, and so is your timeline. Believing in your potential means focusing on your own path and trusting that you are capable of reaching your destination, no matter how long it takes. Recognizing your potential also requires tuning out the negative voices, both external and internal. People may doubt you, criticize you, or try to bring you down. Sometimes the loudest doubter is the voice inside your own head. It tells you that you're not smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. But that voice is a liar. To believe in your potential, you must replace those negative thoughts with affirmations of your worth. Remind yourself daily that you are capable, that you have what it takes, and that you are enough just as you are. Action is a critical part of believing in your potential. It's not enough to think you're capable, you must prove it to yourself through effort and persistence. Start small if you need to, but start. Take a step, no matter how tiny, and let the momentum build. Each action you take reinforces your belief in yourself. As you accomplish one task, you gain the confidence to tackle the next. Before you know it, you've built a track record of success that silences doubt and strengthens your faith in what you can achieve. Believing in your potential also means embracing the process of learning and growth. Nobody starts as an expert. Every master was once a beginner who dared to try, fail, and try again. When you commit to learning, you unlock your potential bit by bit. You become more skilled, more knowledgeable, and more confident in your abilities. Each step forward reveals just how much you're capable of. Surrounding yourself with positivity is another essential part of believing in your potential. The people you spend time with have a significant impact on how you see yourself. If you're surrounded by negativity, doubt, or criticism, it can be challenging to believe in your abilities. Seek out those who uplift you, encourage you, and see your potential even when you don't. Positive influences remind you of your strength and push you to aim higher. Your potential is limitless, but tapping into it requires discipline and dedication. You must be willing to put in the work, to stay consistent even when the results aren't immediate. Belief alone isn't enough, it must be paired with action. Discipline bridges the gap between what you dream of and what you achieve. It keeps you moving forward step by step toward the life you know you're capable of creating. Self-reflection is another key to unlocking your potential. Take time to assess your strengths, your passions, and your values. What are you naturally good at? What excites you? What kind of impact do you want to make? When you have clarity about who you are and what you want, it becomes easier to see your potential and to believe in your ability to reach your goals. Finally, believing in your potential means giving yourself permission to dream big. Don't limit yourself to what seems realistic or achievable by others' standards. Your potential goes far beyond what you can see in the moment. Allow yourself to imagine a future where you're living up to your fullest capabilities. Dreaming big doesn't mean ignoring reality. It means trusting that with effort and determination, you can turn your vision into reality. Life has a way of convincing us that the perfect moment is just around the corner. We tell ourselves that once the timing is right, once all the pieces fall into place, or once we feel completely ready, then we'll take action. We'll start that business, pursue that passion, or chase that dream. But the truth is, perfect conditions rarely, if ever, exist. Waiting for them is a trap that keeps us stuck in place, watching opportunities pass us by while we cling to the illusion of readiness. The idea of perfect conditions is comforting because it offers an excuse. It allows us to avoid the discomfort of taking risks, the fear of failure, and the vulnerability of putting ourselves out there. But this safety comes at a cost. The longer we wait for ideal circumstances, the more we delay our growth and the further away we drift from the life we truly want. The reality is there will always be challenges, uncertainties, and reasons to wait. If you keep looking for perfection, you'll never move forward. When you stop waiting for perfect conditions, you start to realize that action itself creates the momentum you've been seeking. Progress doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. Every small step you take builds confidence, sharpens your skills, and brings you closer to your goals. Even if the path isn't clear, the act of moving forward helps illuminate the way. The first step may be intimidating, but it's often the most important one. Once you take it, you realize that perfection isn't necessary to begin. Life is inherently messy and unpredictable. There will always be factors outside your control, and there will never be a moment when every single variable aligns perfectly. The beauty of embracing this truth is that it frees you from the paralysis of overthinking. Instead of obsessing over what could go wrong or waiting for a sign that it's the right time, you learn to adapt and make the most of what you have in the present moment. The conditions you're waiting for might never arrive, but the opportunity to start is always within reach. Fear often disguises itself as the need for perfect conditions. It whispers that you're not ready, that you need more time, or that you should wait until things feel safer. But fear doesn't disappear when circumstances improve. It only grows stronger the longer you let it control your decisions. The only way to conquer fear is to face it head on. By taking action despite the imperfections, you prove to yourself that you are capable of handling uncertainty. You discover that courage doesn't come from having everything figured out. It comes from moving forward even when you don't. When you let go of the need for perfect conditions, you also open yourself up to unexpected opportunities. Sometimes the very obstacles you fear become the catalyst for growth and creativity. Challenges force you to think outside the box, to adapt, and to find solutions you might not have considered otherwise. By starting now, even in less than ideal circumstances, you give yourself the chance to learn, evolve, and uncover strengths you didn't know you had. Waiting for perfection often leads to regret. It's easy to look back and see all the chances you didn't take because you were waiting for the right time. The truth is, the best time to start is almost always now. Every moment you spend waiting is a moment you could be using to build, grow, and move closer to your dreams. Even small steps taken today can lead to significant progress over time. The key is to begin, even if everything isn't exactly as you'd like it to be. Taking action in imperfect conditions doesn't mean you have to be reckless or unprepared. It means understanding that readiness is often a myth and that the best way to prepare is through experience. You don't have to have all the answers or every detail mapped out before you begin. Start with what you know, use what you have, and trust that you'll learn and adapt as you go. The process itself will teach you far more than endless planning ever could. Success is rarely a straight path, and it's almost never achieved in ideal circumstances. Those who succeed aren't the ones who wait for everything to align perfectly. They're the ones who take action despite the obstacles. They understand that progress is messy, mistakes are inevitable, and failure is a part of the journey. By starting before you feel ready, you join the ranks of those who are willing to take risks, learn from their experiences, and keep moving forward no matter what. One of the most empowering realizations is that you don't need perfect conditions to create something meaningful. History is full of examples of people who achieved incredible things despite less than ideal circumstances. Their stories remind us that the greatest obstacle is often our own hesitation. By choosing to act, even when the conditions are imperfect, you take control of your life and set yourself on a path toward growth and fulfillment. Life is filled with challenges, and every individual faces their own set of difficulties. These problems, whether small or significant, often seem overwhelming. In moments of hardship, it's natural to look around for someone to rescue us, to provide answers, or to fix what feels broken. However, relying on others to solve your problems can lead to dependency, stagnation, and frustration. True growth comes from recognizing that the responsibility for overcoming challenges lies within you. By learning to solve your own problems, you not only take control of your life, but also develop resilience, confidence, and independence. When you confront a problem, the first step is to accept ownership of it. It's easy to fall into the trap of blaming external circumstances, other people, or even bad luck. While these factors might contribute to your situation, focusing on them won't bring a solution. Ownership means acknowledging that, regardless of who or what caused the issue, it is your responsibility to address it. This shift in perspective is empowering because it puts the power to change things squarely in your hands. Solving your own problems requires clarity of thought. When a challenge arises, emotions like fear, anger, or frustration can cloud your judgment. To navigate these emotions, take a step back and approach the situation objectively. Break the problem down into its components. Ask yourself what exactly is wrong, why it's happening, and what the potential consequences are. This process of analysis helps you see the issue more clearly and makes it easier to identify actionable steps. One of the most valuable tools in problem solving is resourcefulness. You may not always have all the answers or the skills you need to tackle a problem immediately, but that doesn't mean a solution is out of reach. Resourcefulness is about finding ways to acquire the knowledge, tools, or support necessary to overcome obstacles. This could mean doing research, seeking advice from those with expertise, or experimenting with different approaches until you find one that works. Being resourceful teaches you to rely on your own creativity and determination rather than waiting for someone else to step in. Patience and persistence are crucial when solving your own problems. Not every solution will come quickly or easily, and setbacks are inevitable. These moments of difficulty can be discouraging, but they are also opportunities to learn and grow. Each failed attempt brings you closer to understanding what works and what doesn't. Over time, this trial and error process builds resilience and strengthens your ability to handle future challenges. Learning to solve your own problems also involves being proactive rather than reactive. Many issues can be anticipated and addressed before they escalate. By staying vigilant and taking preventative measures, you can often avoid bigger problems down the line. For example, managing your finances responsibly, maintaining open communication in relationships, or addressing health concerns early are all ways of minimizing future challenges. Being proactive requires foresight and discipline, but it can save you a great deal of stress in the long run. A key part of problem solving is learning to trust yourself. It's natural to doubt your abilities, especially when faced with unfamiliar challenges. However, self-doubt can paralyze you and prevent you from taking action. Trusting yourself doesn't mean you'll always have the perfect solution or never make mistakes. It means believing that you are capable of figuring things out as you go. The more you practice solving your own problems, the more confidence you'll gain in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Another important aspect of solving your own problems is the willingness to take responsibility for your decisions and actions. Sometimes the hardest problems to solve are the ones we've created for ourselves through poor choices or inaction. It can be uncomfortable to admit when we've made mistakes, but owning up to them is essential for growth. Taking responsibility means learning from your errors, making better choices moving forward, and being accountable for the outcomes of your efforts. Solving your own problems doesn't mean isolating yourself or refusing help when it's genuinely needed. It means being the primary driver of your own solutions, even if you occasionally seek guidance or collaboration. When you do ask for help, do so with the intention of learning and growing, rather than shifting the burden onto someone else. This approach ensures that you remain in control of your life and continue to develop your problem-solving skills. Ultimately, learning to solve your own problems is a lifelong process. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more capable. The skills you develop in addressing one issue can often be applied to others, creating a ripple effect of confidence and competence. Over time, you'll come to see problems not as insurmountable obstacles, but as puzzles waiting to be solved. By embracing this mindset, you take charge of your destiny and unlock your full potential. Life is an unpredictable journey full of twists and turns that often present themselves as challenges. These challenges can feel overwhelming, testing your patience, resilience, and determination. It's easy to view obstacles as barriers, to feel discouraged by the weight of difficulty and uncertainty. However, with the right mindset, those very challenges can be transformed into opportunities for growth, learning, and success. This shift in perspective doesn't happen by chance. It's a conscious choice to see the silver lining in every storm and to find value in adversity. Challenges force you to step out of your comfort zone. They disrupt the routine and the familiar, pushing you into uncharted territory where growth becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Comfort zones are safe but stagnant. When a challenge arises, it forces you to think differently, to act courageously, and to confront parts of yourself you might not have encountered otherwise. Every obstacle you face is an invitation to rise above your limitations and discover your true potential. It is in these moments of discomfort and uncertainty that you learn who you are and what you are capable of. Adversity is a great teacher, offering lessons that success often cannot. When you face difficulties, you are compelled to problem solve, innovate, and adapt. These moments sharpen your critical thinking and enhance your ability to navigate complexity. You learn how to manage your emotions, balance competing priorities, and make decisions under pressure. Each challenge you overcome adds to your arsenal of skills, equipping you for future endeavors. In this way, the very things that seem to hold you back can propel you forward, shaping you into a stronger and more capable individual. A challenge can also serve as a mirror, reflecting aspects of your character that might need development. Perhaps it reveals a lack of patience, an aversion to risk, or a tendency to give up too soon. These realizations can be uncomfortable, but they are also incredibly valuable. By acknowledging your weaknesses, you give yourself the opportunity to address them. The process of turning a challenge into an opportunity often involves self-reflection and a willingness to change. This inner work is not easy, but it is essential for personal growth. Challenges also present an opportunity to redefine your goals and priorities. Sometimes the obstacles you face are a sign that the path you're on is no longer aligned with your values or aspirations. They force you to pause and reevaluate, to consider whether you need to adjust your approach or pursue a different direction entirely. This process of reassessment can lead to breakthroughs and insights that you might never have discovered otherwise. In this way, challenges act as catalysts for clarity and purpose. When you choose to view challenges as opportunities, you also cultivate a mindset of resilience and optimism. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong or what you've lost, you focus on what you can gain and how you can grow. This shift in perspective doesn't diminish the reality of hardship, but it empowers you to navigate it with strength and determination. Resilience is not about avoiding pain or difficulty, it's about facing them head-on and emerging on the other side stronger and wiser. This mindset transforms every setback into a stepping stone, propelling you closer to your goals. Turning challenges into opportunities also fosters creativity and innovation. When the usual methods don't work, you are forced to think outside the box and find new solutions. This process often leads to discoveries and achievements that would have been impossible under easier circumstances. Many of the world's greatest inventions, breakthroughs, and success stories were born out of adversity. The pressure to overcome a challenge can unlock potential you didn't know you had, inspiring you to push boundaries and achieve more than you ever thought possible. Challenges also deepen your appreciation for the journey. When success comes easily, it's often taken for granted, but when it's hard-won, it carries a profound sense of fulfillment and pride. The struggles and sacrifices you endure make the victory sweeter, giving you a greater sense of gratitude for what you've achieved. This appreciation extends beyond the individual moments of triumph. It enriches your entire outlook on life. By embracing challenges as opportunities, you learn to value the process as much as the outcome. Another benefit of turning challenges into opportunities is the impact it has on those around you. Your ability to face adversity with courage and creativity inspires others to do the same. It shows them that difficulties are not insurmountable and that growth is always possible. By modeling this approach, you become a source of strength and encouragement for your community, creating a ripple effect of positivity and resilience. In the end, challenges are not just obstacles to overcome, they are opportunities waiting to be discovered. They hold the potential to teach, to transform, and to inspire. When you approach them with an open mind and a determined heart, you unlock the hidden gifts they carry. This doesn't mean the process is easy or free of struggle, but it does mean that every challenge has the potential to become a stepping stone towards something greater. Motivation is the driving force behind every action, decision, and achievement in life. While external factors such as encouragement from others, recognition, or rewards can provide temporary bursts of energy, the most sustainable and effective form of motivation comes from within. Being self-motivated means having the ability to inspire and push yourself toward your goals without relying on external validation or prompting. It's about cultivating a deep inner drive that propels you forward, even when the path gets difficult or the results seem far away. This quality is not something people are born with. It is developed and strengthened through practice, self-awareness, and persistence. Self-motivation begins with a clear sense of purpose. Knowing what you want to achieve, and more importantly, why you want to achieve it, creates a powerful foundation for sustained effort. Purpose gives your actions meaning and aligns your daily choices with your long-term vision. Without a clear purpose, it's easy to lose focus, become distracted, or give up when obstacles arise. The process of identifying your purpose often requires deep reflection. It involves asking yourself questions like, what truly matters to me? What impact do I want to make? What kind of life do I want to build? The answers to these questions provide a compass that guides your actions and fuels your motivation. Another key aspect of self-motivation is setting specific, actionable goals. Lofty aspirations are inspiring, but they can also feel overwhelming if they're not broken down into manageable steps. By creating clear, measurable goals, you give yourself a roadmap to follow. Each small achievement along the way provides a sense of accomplishment and builds momentum. These small wins are crucial for maintaining motivation as they reinforce the belief that progress is possible. They remind you that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your ultimate objective. Self-motivation also requires a strong sense of discipline. There will inevitably be days when you don't feel like putting in the effort, when distractions seem more appealing than productivity, or when doubts creep in and make you question your abilities. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward during these moments. It's the ability to act according to your commitments rather than your fleeting emotions. Discipline is not about forcing yourself to work tirelessly without rest. It's about maintaining consistency and showing up for yourself, even when it's difficult. Over time, this consistent effort becomes a habit, and the habit becomes a powerful force that sustains your motivation. One of the most effective ways to cultivate self-motivation is to focus on your intrinsic rewards, the personal satisfaction, growth, and fulfillment that come from pursuing your goals. External rewards like praise, money, or recognition can be motivating, but they are often fleeting and outside your control. Intrinsic rewards, on the other hand, are entirely within your reach. They include the pride of knowing you've done your best, the joy of learning and growing, and the confidence that comes from overcoming challenges. By shifting your focus to these internal rewards, you create a motivation that is enduring and deeply fulfilling. Self-motivation also thrives on a positive mindset. Your thoughts have a powerful influence on your actions and outcomes. If you constantly doubt your abilities, fear failure, or dwell on setbacks, you'll struggle to find the energy and confidence to keep going. On the other hand, when you cultivate a mindset of optimism and self-belief, you empower yourself to face challenges with determination and creativity. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on possibilities rather than limitations and viewing obstacles as opportunities for growth. A crucial part of being self-motivated is learning to overcome procrastination and inertia. It's easy to delay tasks, especially those that feel daunting or unpleasant, in favor of immediate gratification. However, every time you procrastinate, you reinforce a habit of avoidance that undermines your motivation. To break this cycle, start small. Commit to just 5 minutes of focused work, and often you'll find the momentum to continue. Celebrate the act of starting, no matter how small the step, as each beginning moves you closer to your goal. Self-motivation is also fueled by a sense of gratitude and perspective. When you take the time to appreciate the progress you've made, the opportunities you have, and the lessons you've learned, it creates a sense of abundance and possibility. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's achievable, inspiring you to take action from a place of positivity rather than fear. Perspective reminds you that setbacks and failures are temporary, and that every effort, no matter the outcome, contributes to your growth and resilience. Lastly, being self-motivated means recognizing and embracing your personal power. It's about understanding that you are the architect of your own life, capable of shaping your reality through your choices and actions. This realization is both empowering and humbling. It means taking full responsibility for your journey, knowing that while external circumstances may influence you, they do not define you. When you embrace this truth, you unlock a source of motivation that is both profound and limitless. You become unstoppable, not because the road is easy, but because your inner drive is unshakable. Consistency is the cornerstone of achievement. While bursts of enthusiasm and inspiration may ignite your journey, it is the steady, repeated efforts over time that lead to real transformation. The idea of consistent action is deceptively simple: showing up, putting in the work, and staying committed to the process. Yet, it is one of the most challenging principles to master because it demands patience, discipline, and an unwavering belief in the power of small steps. Focusing on consistent action means understanding that greatness is not built in a day, but through daily, deliberate effort. When you commit to consistent action, you create momentum. Much like pushing a heavy object, the first effort to move it requires significant energy, but once it starts rolling, it becomes easier to keep it moving. Every action you take adds to this momentum, making it increasingly natural to continue. Over time, consistency becomes a habit, and habits shape your identity. If you consistently act in alignment with your goals, you begin to see yourself as someone who is disciplined, reliable, and capable. This shift in identity reinforces your behavior, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you forward. One of the most powerful aspects of consistent action is its ability to compound over time. Small, seemingly insignificant efforts may not produce immediate results, but their impact accumulates. Consider the analogy of water dripping on a rock. A single drop of water may seem inconsequential, but over time, the consistent dripping can wear away even the hardest stone. Similarly, your consistent actions, no matter how small, have the potential to create significant change. The key is to trust the process and stay committed, even when progress feels slow or invisible. Focusing on consistent action also helps you overcome the temptation of perfectionism. Many people delay taking action because they want everything to be perfect before they begin. They wait for the ideal moment, the perfect plan, or flawless execution. However, perfectionism often leads to procrastination and stagnation. By prioritizing consistent action over perfection, you free yourself from the pressure of getting everything exactly right. You learn to embrace progress over perfection, understanding that small, imperfect steps are better than no steps at all. Consistency allows you to learn and improve as you go, turning mistakes and setbacks into valuable lessons. Consistent action builds resilience. Life is full of ups and downs, and challenges are inevitable. However, when you develop the habit of showing up and putting in the effort regardless of circumstances, you build mental toughness. This resilience becomes a powerful tool for navigating adversity. Instead of being derailed by setbacks, you learn to keep moving forward, knowing that every effort counts. Consistency teaches you that success is not about avoiding difficulties, but about persisting through them. Moreover, consistent action creates a sense of accountability to yourself. Each time you follow through on a commitment, you reinforce your trust in your own abilities. This self-accountability strengthens your confidence and self-discipline. You begin to see yourself as someone who honors their word and takes responsibility for their journey. This internal accountability is far more sustainable than relying on external validation or motivation. It keeps you grounded and focused even when external circumstances are unpredictable or unsupportive. Consistency also simplifies the journey toward your goals. When you focus on taking consistent action, you remove the need for constant decision-making about whether to act or not. For example, if you commit to exercising every morning, you no longer waste energy debating whether to work out on a particular day. The decision has already been made. This simplicity reduces mental fatigue and frees up your energy to focus on execution. Consistency streamlines your efforts, making it easier to maintain focus and direction. One of the challenges of consistent action is staying motivated when results are not immediately visible. It can be discouraging to put in effort day after day without seeing tangible progress. However, this is where the true value of consistency lies. It requires faith in the process and a long-term perspective. You must trust that your efforts are building a foundation for future success, even if the results are not yet apparent. This mindset shift helps you stay committed and patient, knowing that every action is a step closer to your goals. Consistency also fosters creativity and innovation. When you show up regularly to work on your goals, you create opportunities for inspiration to strike. Many breakthroughs happen not in moments of sudden genius, but during the routine practice of consistent effort. For example, a writer who commits to writing every day is more likely to overcome writer's block and produce great work than one who waits for inspiration to strike. Consistency creates a fertile ground for creativity to flourish, allowing you to tap into your full potential. Another benefit of consistent action is the sense of fulfillment it brings. There is a unique satisfaction in knowing that you are taking steps toward your aspirations. Even before you achieve your ultimate goal, the act of working toward it gives your life purpose and direction. This fulfillment is not dependent on the outcome, it comes from the process itself. By focusing on consistent action, you learn to appreciate the journey and find joy in the effort. Life is filled with challenges, hurdles, and moments that test our resilience. In the pursuit of goals, it's easy to become overly focused on the end result, constantly striving for the next milestone and ignoring the progress made along the way. This relentless forward march often causes us to overlook one of the most important aspects of personal growth: celebrating our wins, both big and small. Acknowledging and honoring these victories is not just an act of self-appreciation, but also a critical component of sustaining motivation, building confidence, and fostering a positive outlook on life. Every achievement, no matter how minor it may seem, represents effort, determination, and progress. These small wins are the building blocks of success, creating a foundation upon which larger accomplishments are built. When you take the time to recognize these moments, you remind yourself of the value of incremental progress. It is the consistent effort behind these small wins that ultimately leads to significant breakthroughs. For instance, if you're trying to build a healthier lifestyle, celebrating small steps like choosing a nutritious meal or completing a short workout reinforces the behavior and motivates you to continue. These victories may not be groundbreaking individually, but they signify movement in the right direction, which is essential for long-term success. Celebrating your wins also helps to cultivate gratitude and a sense of fulfillment. In a world where comparisons are rampant, it's easy to fall into the trap of measuring your progress against others, often leading to feelings of inadequacy or frustration. However, when you choose to focus on your own journey and celebrate your unique achievements, you create a space for gratitude. You begin to appreciate how far you've come, the effort you've invested, and the lessons you've learned along the way. This shift in perspective fosters contentment and allows you to find joy in the present moment, rather than being perpetually fixated on what's yet to come. Another powerful benefit of celebrating your wins is the positive reinforcement it creates. Human behavior is significantly influenced by reinforcement. When a particular action leads to a reward, we are more likely to repeat it. By acknowledging your successes, you reward yourself for the effort you've put in, encouraging continued commitment and consistency. For example, if you're working on a challenging project at work, taking a moment to celebrate completing a crucial step not only boosts your morale, but also energizes you to tackle the next phase with renewed enthusiasm. This cycle of effort, recognition, and renewed effort is a key driver of sustained motivation and productivity. Celebrations also serve as reminders of your capabilities and resilience. In moments of doubt or when facing setbacks, reflecting on past wins can provide a much-needed boost of confidence. They remind you that you are capable of overcoming challenges, achieving goals, and persevering through difficult times. Each win, no matter how small, is evidence of your strength and determination. This sense of accomplishment can act as a shield against self-doubt and a source of encouragement during tough times. Furthermore, celebrating your wins strengthens your emotional well-being. Life's demands and pressures can often lead to stress and burnout, especially when you're constantly pushing yourself to achieve more. Taking the time to celebrate acts as a form of self-care, allowing you to pause, reflect, and recharge. Whether it's treating yourself to something special, sharing your success with loved ones, or simply taking a moment of quiet pride, these acts of celebration provide emotional nourishment. They remind you that it's okay to pause and acknowledge the fruits of your labor before moving on to the next challenge. It's important to note that celebrations don't need to be grand or elaborate. The key lies in the intention behind them. A small gesture, like jotting down your achievement in a journal, sharing your progress with a trusted friend, or even treating yourself to a favorite activity, can be just as meaningful as a larger celebration. What matters most is that you take the time to recognize your effort and give yourself the credit you deserve. These moments of recognition add up, creating a reservoir of positivity that fuels your journey. Moreover, celebrating your wins can inspire those around you. When you share your achievements, you create a ripple effect, motivating and encouraging others to recognize their own progress. It fosters a culture of positivity and support, where accomplishments, big or small, are valued and acknowledged. This sense of shared celebration can strengthen relationships, build camaraderie, and create a network of mutual encouragement. By celebrating your successes openly, you give others permission to do the same, creating an environment where growth and effort are honored. Lastly, celebrating your wins helps to create a balanced perspective on success and failure. Life is a series of ups and downs, and while it's important to learn from failures, it's equally important to celebrate successes. Each win, regardless of its size, is a reminder that progress is being made, that your efforts are paying off, and that you are moving closer to your goals. These celebrations serve as a counterbalance to the challenges and setbacks you encounter, ensuring that your journey remains fulfilling and rewarding. In conclusion, celebrating your wins, no matter how big or small, is not just about self-praise, but a vital practice that can fuel your journey toward greater success and fulfillment. It's easy to overlook these small victories in the rush to reach the next goal, but by pausing to recognize your progress, you reinforce the behaviors that lead to long-term growth. Every achievement, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a testament to your commitment, perseverance, and dedication. These moments are the building blocks that create momentum, helping you push through obstacles and setbacks. Celebrating your wins creates a positive feedback loop that keeps you motivated and inspired. It transforms your journey into one of constant learning and appreciation. Rather than focusing solely on the destination, you begin to enjoy the process and find satisfaction in the everyday progress you make. This shift in focus is powerful. It fosters a sense of gratitude and fulfillment, reminding you that success is not just about the end result, but about the growth you experience along the way. Moreover, celebrating your wins strengthens your self-belief and confidence. In times of doubt, looking back on what you've already achieved can reignite your faith in your abilities. Each victory becomes proof of your resilience, helping you navigate future challenges with a stronger mindset. When you take the time to celebrate, you honor not only your accomplishments, but also the effort and discipline required to achieve them. This respect for your own journey is what fuels future success. Finally, celebrating your wins is an essential part of maintaining balance and emotional well-being. In a world that often pushes us to do more, faster, it's easy to forget the importance of pausing to reflect on how far we've come. By making time to celebrate, you create a positive environment for yourself, and this positivity can ripple out to those around you, inspiring others to celebrate their own victories. Ultimately, recognizing your wins is a powerful way to ensure that your journey is as rewarding as your destination.